You wake at 3 a.m., drenched in sweat, heart pounding like a war drum. The room is silent, but inside your skull, a voice whispers the truth you refuse to face. You are small. You are temporary. You are already dying. Miyamoto Musashi drew his final breath on the 19th day of the 5th month, 1645, alone. No wife knelt beside the futon. No child held his hand. 61 duels undefeated. Yet the greatest swordsman the world has ever seen lay on a simple mat in Raigando Cave, blood seeping from his lungs, staring at the rock ceiling he had stared at for 5 years. He wrote the Dokkodo with trembling fingers, 21 rules for men who would come after him. The 4th rule he carved into paper with the same hand that had severed hundreds of throats. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Then he closed his eyes. No one cried. The wind outside the cave did not pause. The world simply continued. And you think the world will pause for you? Long before that deathbed, when Musashi was 29, he fought Sasaki Kojiro on the lonely island of Ganryujima. Dawn. Mist rolling off the sea. Thousands watched from boats, yet the beach was empty except for 2 men and death. Musashi arrived late, on purpose. He carved an oar into a longer sword than Kojiro's famed laundry pole. He walked forward barefoot, robes open, sun behind him blinding his enemy. Kojiro drew. Musashi stepped once, twice. 1 strike. The greatest genius of the blade in Japan fell like a sack of rice. Skull split to the eyes. Musashi turned his back before the body hit the sand. He did not celebrate. He did not look at the crowd. He boarded the boat and rowed away alone. Why? Because he thought lightly of himself. Victory was not his, it belonged to the way. The world was vast, indifferent, and far more important than the tiny flame of his own name. You, on the other hand, refresh your phone to see if anyone liked your story. Shameful. Lesson 1. Your ego is a parasite. Musashi wrote in the Book of 5 Rings, the true science of martial arts means that you do not fixate on a single thing. Fixation on self is the first death. In 2025, you call it personal brand. Musashi would call it slow suicide. Every minute you spend curating how you appear, you are stealing from how you actually become. Modern application. Delete every social application that shows you numbers, likes, followers, streaks. Gone. Not tomorrow. Tonight. If you ignore this, the parasite grows. By 40, you will have a curated graveyard of memories no one truly shared, a face filtered until even your mother hesitates at the door, and a heart so starved of real respect that you pay strangers online to tell you you matter. You will die surrounded by blue light, still waiting for the next notification that never comes. Lesson 2. The world is an endless battlefield of forces far greater than your feelings. Musashi spent years wandering Japan after Ganryujima, sleeping under trees, eating when food appeared, fighting when challenged. He studied calligraphy, painting, sculpture, gardening because he understood the world is a web of patterns, and the man who believes his own pain is special will be crushed by patterns he never bothered to learn. Today the battlefield is interest rates, supply chains, artificial intelligence, geopolitics, the slow collapse of institutions you were told would protect you. You ignore them because they do not stroke your ego. You think lightly of the world and deeply of yourself. The opposite of the way. Modern application. Every day read 1 primary source outside your bubble. Government report, technical paper, foreign news in translation. No summaries, no podcasts. Raw. If you ignore this, one morning you will wake unemployed because a machine you never studied replaced the skill you thought made you special. Your savings will evaporate because you never learned how money actually moves. You will stand in the ruins of your assumptions while stronger men who respected the world walk past without looking down. Lesson 3. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. After his 60th duel, Musashi stopped using real blades. He fought only with wooden bokken. Why? Because he no longer needed to prove anything to himself or anyone. He had seen the edge of death so many times that his own survival became trivial compared to perfecting the art itself. You, brother, still need to prove you are the main character. You interrupt. You one-up stories. You take every disagreement personally. Modern application. For the next 30 days, speak only in questions or silence in every group setting. No statements about yourself unless directly asked twice. Watch how fast people forget you are in the room and how much more clearly you see the terrain. If you ignore this, you will reach old age still arguing with ghosts about who disrespected you in 2025. Your tombstone will be a comment section no one scrolls to anymore. Lesson 4. The world rewards those who serve something larger than their own reflection. In his later years, Musashi was invited by Lord Hosokawa to live in comfort. He refused the castle. Instead, he trained the Lord's soldiers, wrote treatises, painted masterpieces, then returned to his cave. He thought lightly of comfort, deeply of duty. Today, you think deeply of comfort and lightly of legacy. Modern application. Choose one skill that will outlive you, teach it, document it, give it away for free. No credit, no Patreon, pure transmission. If you ignore this, your grandchildren will Google your name and find only outdated selfies and a LinkedIn profile that ends in 2031, forgotten in one generation. Like most men. Lesson 5. Loneliness is the price of seeing clearly. Musashi adopted 2 boys, then a third. All left him or died young. He buried them himself. He never complained. He knew the world does not bend to our need for company. The man who thinks deeply of the world accepts that most will never understand him. Modern application. Schedule 1 hour every week with 0 input, no music, no podcasts, no scrolling. Sit in silence until the discomfort becomes familiar. That is the sound of the world breathing while you finally shut up. If you ignore this, you will medicate the loneliness with porn, alcohol, endless group chats, until the loneliness calcifies into bitterness, and you become the old man who poisons every room with stories of how nobody ever appreciated him. Lesson 6. Death is the ultimate teacher of proportion. Musashi faced it 61 times with steel in his hand and hundreds more in training. Each time he walked away lighter, less ego, less fear, less illusion that his life was the center of anything. You face death once at the end, and because you avoid thinking of it, you live crooked. Modern application. Once a month, write your own obituary as if you died tomorrow. Not the triumphant version, the honest one. Then burn it and change one thing before the next month. If you ignore this, you will reach 80 having never asked the only question that matters. Did the world become any larger because I was in it? Look forward. You are 80 years old. The house is paid off, but empty. Your knees no longer work. The children, those you managed to have, visit once a year out of obligation. They speak to you like customer service. Your phone has no new messages because everyone who ever cared is dead or tired of your neediness. You sit in a recliner, staring at boxes of trophies from games no one plays anymore. The television drones. Outside, the world spins on faster, colder, richer, more ruthless. New men walk the path you never finished, and you realize, far too late, that you spent your life polishing a mirror no one will ever look into again. That is the future if you keep thinking deeply of yourself and lightly of the world. Now the 7-day Steel Mind Challenge begins. Day 1. Delete every social media app. Screenshot your home screen before and after. Burn the screenshots. Day 2. Wake at 4 a.m. Cold shower. 1 hour physical training, no music, no tracking, no mirror. Day 3. Read 1 chapter of the Book of 5 Rings out loud in an empty room. Record it. Listen back. Hear how small your voice still sounds. Day 4. Fast from all food after 4 p.m. until the next day at noon. Feel the body panic. Remind it who serves whom. Day 5. Write a 1,000-word letter to your future dead self, explaining exactly why you wasted the years. Seal it. Open it in 1 year. Day 6. Go to the hardest gym in your city. Ask the strongest man there to train you for 1 hour. Pay him double. Say nothing about your past achievements. Day 7. Walk alone into the coldest, darkest place you can reach before sunrise. Stand there for 30 minutes. Speak the 4th rule aloud 21 times. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Then walk back. Do not post about it. Do not tell anyone. Let the silence do its work. This is the path. There is no other. The world does not wait. Your ego will scream. Let it scream. Steel is forged when the hammer does not care about the metal's opinion. Now choose. Comment below the single Dokkodo rule. You will begin living today, or remain exactly what you are? Average, temporary, forgotten, the blade falls. Will you step aside, or finally learn to disappear into the cut?